Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I thought I'd do something a little bit different for you guys. Obviously last weekend I did describe what had happened with the Thorpe Park teaser and everything, and you know that Aroma Prime Sense said that they're going to announce something soon. So I thought in today's video I could just collect all of the evidence we have with all the teasers and create my final thoughts before the announcement. So if you guys do go on to enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, anything makes me know you guys like my content. And without further ado, let's get into the video then. So, pretty much where all this started, we started in November when we obviously had the end of season video for Thorpe Park Resort. And this is where our first teaser kind of came in. Now, the way I'm going to be doing this video is that I'm going to be briefly going over each teaser we've got, and then after I've done that, I'll then collect them all together and create my own sort of opinion on everything, and predict what I think is going to happen. So in November, we obviously got our end of season video for 2019. Much like every year, I mean, you know, it was kind of the same old, just over, you know, highlighted everything that had happened that year, until obviously we got to the end. Now obviously these end of season teasers are notorious for sort of incorporating teasers for the next year. Obviously in 2017 we obviously got the Walking Dead ride teaser for the Walking Dead ride, which obviously opened in 2018. So this year was no different. Obviously we got the initialising teaser. Everyone was freaking out, no one knew what it was, and then a couple of months afterwards, when Thorpe Park Resort updated their blog to 20 reasons why you should visit Thorpe Park in 2020. Obviously it was quite normal, you know, this teaser was a lot more hidden, it wasn't, you know, as easy to find. However, if you scroll to the bottom of this blog, you obviously saw the number 20 reason, which was in 2020 we're initialising watch this space. Now I have made videos on each of these teasers separately, so definitely go check them out individually if you want to, you know, see something a little bit more detailed. And then yeah, that kind of brings us up to where we are now. Obviously last weekend Aroma Prime Sense posted on all their social media platforms, kind of saying that they're going to be in collaboration with Thorpe Park and they're going to be announcing something very soon. So we kind of had to kind of connect this to all the other teasers that have been happening, because there's nothing really else we can connect it to. So yeah, that's where it is today. So with Aroma Prime Sense saying they're going to release the announcement very, very soon, like I said, I thought I'd, you know, share my initial thoughts or my final thoughts on what I think is going to happen. Now, there are a number of theories circulating around everywhere, whether or not it's going to be an attraction, whether they're planning a coaster or something, but this is my thought on what I think is going to happen, so don't take this as anything literal. This is pretty much just speculation. Now, if we take a look at all the teasers, there is pretty much one main thing in common. They all use the keyword initialise. Now, this seems to be the massive brand point that Thorpe Park are going for here. And if we take a look at the definition for initialising, it actually means the start of an operation. So, my theory is that potentially we could be seeing a brand new coaster being prepared at Thorpe Park Resort this year. Now this would make quite a lot of sense, because obviously you haven't seen any activity around the island, or at least any visible activity. There's been no real planning permissions or anything that have been sent out. And if Thorpe Park are hyping this up so much, they wouldn't really do this for an event. And I know a lot of people out there are saying that, oh, it's probably just going to be an event, it's probably going to be something like that. However, last year when they didn't really when they did all the events, they didn't really kind of hype it up as much as they are for this. So potentially, this whole initialising thing could be what that is alluding to. However, there is even more theories to support this with the second teaser, which obviously stated, watch this space. Now, pretty much this is a very, very common phrase used around the country, and pretty much it just basically means keep an eye out. Now, obviously, it says space because obviously it's going to be like futuristic and stuff, so obviously they're going to want to kind of use something like this. However, when we dig deeper, like I said, this does mean to keep an eye out, so potentially this could be alluding to keep an eye out for construction. There was no picture along with this, and it would make a lot more sense if there was, you know, keep an eye out for this or something like that. But as far as we know, we don't really know what we're looking out for, but I'm sure all will be revealed when this announcement does happen. Now, in terms for what, you know, this construction could be alluding to, mainly for me, if this is to happen, I, you know, think it will be a coaster, much like everyone else, plainly because, obviously, if we reach 2022 without a coaster, that means we've gone a decade without a coaster being added to Thorpe Park Resort, which is quite a lot, you know, in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, Alton Towers has had coasters quicker than that, and, you know, they're really lacking a little bit here. Obviously, they did have the Ghost Train, which does, you know, make a lot more sense there, but obviously that was originally supposed to be a coaster as well, so they kind of had to sacrifice that for the Ghost Train. I think they're kind of kicking themselves now, because they know it'll probably bring in a lot more people if it was a coaster, and would, you know, have a much longer lasting effect on it. However, in terms of what coaster I think could be coming, I did kind of touch on this in a separate video I made discussing what type of coasters I could potentially be seeing, and that is a Mack multi-launch coaster, or just any multi-launch coaster in general, mainly because this hasn't really been done at the Merlin Park before, with them kind of being on the rise with rides like Taron and Icon. Alton Towers and Thorpe Park, potentially I have speculated that maybe both of these could be having one. May see this and just think, wow, we need one of those, and kind of like start to kind of set the seeds for something like this to happen. Now, in terms of this construction theory as well, there is another thing to heavily support this, and that is the fact we have no futuristic, areas in the park. It's nothing a small attraction could fit into, and the main thing that I'm going for here is potentially the island next to Swarm. Could this be its own secluded kind of area for the park? Could it be a futuristic kind of area? Could they be planning something huge here in the sort of, grand scheme of things? Obviously, ages and ages ago, we did get a photo from a VIP meeting for Thorpe Park Resort, and it did say the road to 2020. Obviously, this was all the way back in 2018, but this does look to be a goal for them, so this could, like I said, potentially be setting the seeds for something pretty huge. Now, in terms of what the announcement is actually going to be, when it actually is announced, the prediction of when I think is going to happen may be Friday. Obviously, every Friday Thorpe Park do release their winter construction updates, so potentially they could tie it in with that somehow. But yeah, mainly I think that it will be around Friday time, if not, maybe next week. But I can't really see them waiting too long for this, plainly because all the other Merlin parks already announced what they're doing for 2020 and all really forward. Obviously, Chessington's announced the Rainforest area, Alton Towers announced the World of David Williams, and obviously Legoland has announced the Duplo coaster and also the Lego Movie World that's going to be opening in 2021. So it's safe to assume that Thorpe Park are kind of behind here. So if they don't catch up very quickly, this could mean, that people lose interest. I think it's at this point of the speculation now, we've made our theories, made our thoughts, and we're just waiting. It's like the boring part of the speculation. So hopefully if it does come as soon as Friday, it should keep us interested a little bit more. Now, in terms of what they're actually going to announce, when it is announced, I have no clue. If it is this coaster idea that I have, I can't see them announcing too much. I think the announcement and the collaboration that they will announce pretty much will just say, look, we're making the coaster, here are the plans. Just be very open about it, get people excited, and yeah, just, make people aware that it's actually happening. Now, obviously, if this isn't a roller coaster and this is something that's actually going to be coming in 2020, this will most likely be a full-blown announcement and will most likely cover everything that's going to be coming for the attraction when it eventually does open. But like I said, we haven't really seen that much activity around the island, no planning permission or nothing. So yeah, it is a tiny bit odd that nothing's been done about it, but hey ho, we'll have to wait and see when the announcement does officially come. So that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. Now, like I said, this is just my final thoughts on what I think is going to be coming for the announcement. So yeah, definitely leave all your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll try to reply to as many of you guys as I can. So without further ado, I will see you guys later.